Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a little bit different, so I hope you enjoy it as you'll come along with us to our recent trip to Tasmania. Our first stop is to Willow Creek Farm, which is in a place called Ellendale and is closer to Hobart than it is to Launceston. Jan and Carl were lovely enough to take us on a farm tour to visit all their animals. This included a miniature herd of cows, alpacas, horses, miniature donkeys, and their herd of miniature goats, which is their speciality. All funds raised go towards planting out new trees as they try and regenerate the forest that backs on their land. It was quite windy, so some of the footage may be difficult to hear. So our first stop is to the miniature cows.
What type of cow are they?
They're a miniature Hereford.
Right, you've got Star the Jersey.
I think she's a puppy.
And is that a normal size Jersey?
Yeah.
Are they all like milk producers?
So these two guys we bred on the property.
Oh, okay.
Two horned ones.
Yeah.
We had our own bull here. We actually bred our own bull, and fully grown. He was 1.5 meters. He's gone to live in Leedale up in the northeast. Started a whole new herd up there. He's gone up there with some other girls. We had a terrible drought here 2 years ago, so we had to sell off some stock.
Oh, okay.
The goats we couldn't sell off because we were too attached with them. Sold off some of the alpacas.
Then as we walk further up the hill, we get to see both of their horses.
CB is my original horse, an ex-trosser, so I took him in.
I love horses.
He doesn't go round.
He's a lot smaller, isn't he?
Yes.
So, he looks so innocent.
Oh, he's not.
When I was in Perth, I had an arena built, and the guy left a digger in the arena overnight. And he came down the next morning, he'd take the wiper blade
And finally, in this video, we'll get to see their alpacas.
They won't spit, they shouldn't spit at you. They usually only spit when there's food involved or if they're really frightened. We really just keep them as pets.
Yeah.
They're good for farm tours.
Yeah.
They're really good for helping us maintain our sort of biodiversity on the farm.
Yeah.
So, because all the different animals we've got have different worm burdens, they're really good to interchange between all the different paddocks.
Yeah.
So normally we would swap everybody. So yeah, we would interchange the different animals in the different paddocks. The wool that we've got, the market for wool has really kind of died because there's so many alpacas.
Yeah.
So when we had ours shorn last, which was 2 years ago, we decided that we'll keep the wool for installation for the house when we're doing some renovations.
It's about 2 years.
Of growth. Oh my goodness.
And the one thing with alpaca, you never need to give alpacas shelter.
Okay.
So there can be 2.5 foot of snow.
Yeah.
It can be -4. And if you put your hand down through the fleece, down to their skin,
Yeah.
it'll be 21.5 degrees. And that's why alpaca wool is or used to be so sought after for making jumpers and coats.
Yeah.
But if you think back 10 years ago, you were getting $60 a kilo. Now you won't even get $2 a kilo. There's too many people. It was like ostriches and it was like emus, and I mean, there's a major problem in Australia now with desexed males in alpacas because nobody will eat them as meat because they haven't got associated with them yet. So, especially on the mainland, they get taken out into the desert and shot because they can't do anything with them. And there's only so much you can do, and there's only so much land, and yet people are still breeding them tenfold. That's how we ended up rescuing all of these. The person that we got them from, her husband said, if somebody doesn't come and pick these up, they're going for dog food. You haven't looked at them for 12 months, they're in the paddock. The difficulty with alpaca wool is if you look at the spinning mills and the processing for sheep wool, all the manufacturers are geared up because it has a shorter staple, a shorter length. For them to try and process alpaca wool in the same factories, it just wouldn't happen.
Okay.
because where they weave and where they stress and clean is all geared up for 160 micron staple. Well, alpacas 180 to 240, so it would jam all the machinery up. So people just say, no, the only way you process them is by hand.
Yeah. If I learnt to spin, you know, and created a yarn, then we would be able to get our money back.
We can't
Motivated,
class
yeah.
ourselves as an
Because you haven't been certified,
We
or?
have a neighbour over there who sprays chickens, and that's the prevailing wind.
Yeah.
So it would be impossible for us to get certification.
Yeah.
So what we do is we farm as naturally as we can.
Yeah.
Hence, so many different animals, because you'll see there's all different.
You
types of
rotate
manure.
them. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is our natural manure. We haven't put any artificial fertilisers on this property in 5.5 years.
Yeah.
We haven't ploughed any paddocks. We've managed the paddocks as they would have been managed 100 years ago. Didn't have the money for fertiliser and spray, so I learned how to farm without using that technology. But the management point of view is, when we cut our hay 1.5 inches higher than most people. So we leave a clover base behind, and we leave grass behind. So we can graze a hay paddock 6 weeks after we've cut hay. Whereas a lot of places you'll see after they cut the hay, it is dead. They've scalped it. But then 12 months later, they have to plough it, they have to reseed it. Whereas we have a regime that by leaving our hay crop 6 weeks later than most people would cut the hay, a lot of the seed has started to drop.
Yeah.
So we naturally reseed our paddocks.
Yeah.
And the result is 3 years later, we've got more clover, we've got more variants of grass without having to plough it, fertilise it. When we first moved here and we were telling people how we were farmed, we were the nutters on the top of the hill. You can't farm without fertilisers and chemicals. You've got to go to your stock agents. Now we're kind of regarded as still a little bit alternative, but people are realising what we're doing is actually working.
Thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. There will be a part 2 as we get to visit their miniature donkeys and their goat. I'll also leave the link down below if you want to check out Willow Creek Farm for yourself when you're next in Tasmania. Blah, 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 blah. Barry, you can't be in here while I'm doing this.
You'll have to get out of here.